Welcome to the San Miguel Power Association's annual meeting of members. I'm Rude Felicelli, your board president. I'm here in our nuclear boardroom with our board and staff to present to you a style of annual meeting that we are trying for the first time this year.
Welcome to SMPA's first ever virtual annual meeting. The board and leadership staff are coming to you live from SMPA's nuclear office location. The annual meeting program and report are available on the smpa.com website, and a link was included in your registration email. We will also announce the results of SMPA's 2022 Board of Directors election. In District 3, 2 candidates are vying for the District 3 board seat. If you live in Norwood, Placerville, Dutton, Trout Lake, Rico, Saw Pit, or the surrounding areas, the winner of this year's election will represent you for the next 4 years.
Thank you and congratulations again to these deserving students and their families. You know, another one of our founding cooperative principles is concern for community. At SMPA, we provide support to our communities in 3 ways: community-focused donations, directed donations, and economic development grant programs within our communities. These community assets shown here are just a few that received community-focused donations last year. To augment these donations, we often leverage funds from cooperative partners, Basin Electric Cooperative. Basin also partners with SMPA and community leader CoBank to produce the Sharing Success economic grants. This year, SMPA is helping the Telluride Foundation tackle one of our region's most pressing problems, affordable housing. Through this grant, SMPA and our partners provide $20,000 to help ensure the quality of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems in every home within the planned Norwood and Ridgeway housing developments. As your board of directors, we constantly focus on our mission to provide power that is safe, reliable, affordable, and environmentally friendly. Since 2017, the SMPA board has been evaluating its wholesale electric supply contract with Tri-State and gathering the data necessary to determine if adding a different source of wholesale electricity would be even more advantageous to the membership, both in terms of our carbon footprint and for our overall cost of power. Recently, we authorized the SMPA staff to move forward in discussions with Tri-State to move from an all power requirements contract to a partial requirements contract, thereby potentially allowing 35% of our peak demand to be supplied in some other way. We've completed a thorough evaluation of applications submitted in response to our request for proposals for alternative power supply. We have selected to move forward with Denver-based Guzman Energy as potential alternative power supply. The way forward from this point holds many unknowns, but our focus has been and always will be and remain the quality of our product for the ultimate benefit of our members.
Hello, and welcome to the 83rd annual meeting of your electric cooperative, San Miguel Power Association. As Ruth said, my name is Brad Zaporski, and I am your general manager and chief executive officer. I'm happy to report that 2021 was yet another strong year for your cooperative. We focused our attention and resources on widespread system improvements in order to best position ourselves for some of the large risks that we see that lie ahead. Our primary focus in executing these system improvements has been wildfire mitigation and system reliability. Lastly, I want to discuss with you all how these topics and others have an effect on your rates. Wildfire mitigation was identified by your board of directors as a primary strategic objective in their 2020 strategic planning session, and we remain laser focused on this topic. I want to tell you, when the East Troublesome Fire ripped through the resort communities surrounding Grand Lake, just south of Rocky Mountain National Park, SMPA was there to help rebuild. We came away from this experience with further knowledge on how to proactively formulate a more comprehensive wildfire mitigation plan. We completed a full analysis of our system settings and protocols for different levels of fire danger. One thing of note for all of you is that we do change our system settings on high fire danger days. And this can result in more frequent or longer outages. Yet, this has allowed us to prevent cutting off power completely to certain areas of our system as wildfire danger and drought conditions have continued to worsen. On your screen, you can see one example of the vegetation management we have been conducting. I want to sincerely thank the communities in and around Red Mountain. We realize that this project created an inconvenience to many of you, but we are proud of our cooperation together. And this has greatly reduced the risk of wildfire to you, your homes, and your communities. Which takes us to our next topic of discussion: reliability and system hardening. In 2021, we completed several system upgrades, including deploying new smart equipment on the grid to shorten outages and proactively look for problem areas before they actually cause an outage. We completed several reliability projects, including a groundbreaking microgrid project at the San Miguel County Sheriff's offices and annex in both Norwood and Ilium Valley. This will provide redundant power to both their emergency services and emergency communication systems in the case of an outage, which will be a benefit to that entire region. You can see here a map of the Telluride Mountain Village Reliability Project. We had to call on this redundant line a multitude of times in 2021, thereby greatly reducing the time that that region was without power. In addition, we are continuing our work into phase 3 of the West End Reliability Project, in which we are upgrading equipment and rebuilding several miles of line throughout the west end of our system. And lastly, we do continue work on the Red Mountain Electrical Reliability and Broadband Improvement Project that serves Uray and San Juan counties, and which is one of the largest construction projects that SMPA has ever embarked on. Safety and reliability remain our primary focus as we move into the future. However, these types of projects for wildfire mitigation and reliability are increasingly costly, and they do not bring any additional revenue to the cooperative. This does have an impact on our next topic, which is rates. I am proud to report that SMPA has been able to hold your rates incredibly stable. In fact, over the past 4 years, we have increased your electrical rates by less than 2%. In that same time period, between 2018 and today, the cost of a gallon of milk has gone up 49%, according to the USDA. As we progress with the comprehensive rate study that Rube had mentioned in 2022 and 2023, we continue to look for all possible efficiencies in our operations and maintenance programs, while also aggressively pursuing clean energy to benefit our environment and your pocketbook. As we work to control costs, I'm sure it is no secret to all of you that there are many expenses that are increasing rapidly and are beyond our control. This diagram is a small illustration of some of the considerations your board must ponder while looking at new rate designs. 2 items of note are legislative and regulatory influence and our clean energy future. In order to facilitate higher levels of clean energy in our system, we must send the right price signals to you all in order to indicate the times at which energy and power are the most expensive. Another item of importance is a significant regulatory hurdle that I would like to explain to all of you. This is known as the direct assignment of radial transmission cost. You got to understand that the vast majority of our system, of SMPA's system, it is served energy from long distance transmission lines. Many of these lines were built just to serve you all and us, SMPA. In the past, the cost of these lines was socialized amongst all of the members of our power supplier, Tri-State G&T. However, a recent decision by FERC, which is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, is going to change this practice. And the costs of the operation and maintenance of these lines will soon be charged directly to us at SMPA and only to us at SMPA as the sole benefactor of them. This stands to drastically increase our costs for power delivery. The SMPA board and staff are committed to doing everything we can to control costs. However, this regulatory decision is going to create rate pressures beyond what we have seen in recent history.
Now it's time for us to open the floor to questions from the membership.
We've got a question about a time of use rate structure. Are we exploring such a rate structure?
Yeah, thanks, Riley. I'll take that one as well. Great question. We are very much exploring different types of time of use rate structures. In today's world, we're seeing that the timing of energy as described throughout the meeting is becoming more and more important and becoming more and more higher percentage of our overall cost of power. And so therefore, the short answer is we absolutely are. And it's a part of our 22-23 cost of service study and rate design study.
All right, thanks, Fred. We've got another question about, is SMPA exploring demand shifting strategies such as pumped hydro or compressed air or CO2 energy storage? Or is this more the responsibility of a tri-state or a Guzman?
Another great question, and I can tell you that I very much appreciate this line of questioning as it is becoming an ever more important topic when it comes to our overall expenses at the cooperative. For the most part, those two technologies that were mentioned are more in the wholesale realm, meaning from the power suppliers themselves. However, with that said, we are exploring several different ways that we at the distribution level can shift our peaks or shave our peaks more appropriately. Some of the programs that we are pursuing have already been mentioned actually in the question and answer period. We're looking at residential battery systems and eventually even residential electrical vehicles as a way of pulling power from our members to reduce those peak periods that cost us so much money.
Okay, thank you. We've got another one here about electric vehicles. We've all seen the commercials and we know that there's a big push. And the question is, can the grid handle that? Is there sufficient distribution infrastructure to handle the rapid expansion of electric vehicles?
Well, it's great to see we have such a wise membership, because that is absolutely one of the biggest issues that we face. If our entire membership were to transition to electricity for transportation fuels tomorrow, I'm afraid the answer is no. Our grid could not handle that as it is today. However, we don't expect that every single person in our service territory is going to purchase an electric vehicle tomorrow. With that said, we have to plan for the future. We're doing that in several ways, one of which will be through new innovative rate design. Second way will be through new innovative technologies to help us deal with those spikes in demand that could be caused by everybody getting home from work and plugging in their EVs all at once. And I can tell you that we are very much on it on your behalf. We understand the issue. We're looking at several different ways of dealing with it. And we are very confident that as the penetration increases, that our grid will be able to.
Okay. Well, I'd like to invite any additional questions that can be submitted.
Kudos to our membership. Great questions. And of course, if you have a question that you maybe just don't want to type in today, or maybe having some technical issues in figuring out how to get it to us, you can always stop by our offices. You can give us a call. We're here to answer your questions. We work for you, so just let us know if there's anything we can do.
All right, finally, we'd like to deliver the results of a board election. This was the first year that we implemented online voting as well as traditional paper ballots. Thank you all who voted in the election, and a special thanks goes to our staff, our appointed election monitor, Attorney Jim Link, and to contract with survey and ballot systems for extending new options to our voters while running this election professionally and according to our bylaws. At this time, I'd like to ask our independent election monitor to give us the results of the elections. Go ahead, Jim.
Thanks, Ruth. So as mentioned earlier, this year, districts 3 and 6 were up for election. District 6, Debbie Coates will be our continuing director since she was the only one that turned in a ballot packet for that. In District 3, we had 2 packets turned in, one for Dave Alexander and Alan Svoboda. There were a total of 289 votes cast out of the 1,493 members in District 6. That's just over a 19% participation rate. We had 153 paper ballots returned in the election, 135 web ballots, and 1 member dropped off their ballot at the office, which is always an option here. So letting you know that every vote counts. The total vote count was Dave Alexander, 146 votes, Alan Svoboda, 143 votes.
Wow.
So by a 3-vote margin, Dave Alexander will be your continuing director for the next 4 years from District 6.
That is very close. One of the closest I think we've had.
That is the closest.
The closest we've ever had. Very good. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I want to thank everybody for voting. I want to thank everybody for participating in this unique annual meeting. I want to thank staff. I want to thank our members for participating. So once again, thank you all, and hopefully next year we will have maybe more of an in-person meeting, or a combination of such. So with that, I hereby declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.